friend, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores and I buy used clothes and I sell them online for a profit, hopefully, most of the time. And I'm going to talk today about, is reselling worth it? Is it a good enough side hustle, part-time job? At the end, I have 3 items that I'm shipping out that sold yesterday. I usually do a daily what sold, ship with me type video. So if you're into reseller type of content like that, go ahead and subscribe if you would like. I would love to have you here every day. So I do this part-time. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool. This is all things that I do out of my house other than sourcing. So what I do is I source items. I go to thrift stores. I go to yard sales. Sometimes I go to church sales. Those are my favorite. I come home. I bring the items home. I list them in my spreadsheet. I take pictures of them. I list them on eBay and Poshmark. And then I wait for them to sell. I have them all stored here and then they sell. Then I ship them out to the person and money goes into my account. But is it worth it? As a stay-at-home mom, I spend about 20 hours a week doing this, 2 hours daily on listing and shipping. The shipping takes me a little longer because I ship on a video. It just takes me a little longer. I do some research for my videos and I write down a bunch of stuff that doesn't really need to be written down if I wasn't doing a video. So that does take me longer. I have about 1,200 items listed in my store total, and I list 10 new items every day. And currently I am relisting 30 items every day. That total takes me about an hour to do. A couple times a week, I take pictures. That takes me about 2 to 3 hours at a chunk of time. And then once a week, I go thrifting. That's the hardest part for me because I am a stay-at-home mom. I do have 2 teenagers and then 2 elementary aged kids. And it's tricky to take them with me. So sometimes I do leave them at home, either with their dad or a teenager watches them, one of my teenagers, babysitter. And so I average, I think, about 20 hours a week in work. So in April, today's May 1st. So in April, I had a gross sales amount of $3,258.36. Of that includes all that sold. I have kids playing and they're coughing and making noise. So if you hear that in the background, that's just part of my life. So if I take out all the fees, all the shipping that I paid, and my cost of goods, my profit is $2,017.95. Now that has, for about a year and a half, that has been my goal to make $2,000 a month. $1,000 of that goes into our family budget, helps with things like dance class and violin lessons and soccer fees and just all the things that go along with having kids. It just helps our family. I am not the primary source of income for our family. My husband works a full-time job, and he's our primary income. So this is just kind of extra for us. It helps, but it's an extra, right? 500 of that we save for taxes because it is taxable income. And then about 500 of it, I do try to put back into my business. And it actually worked out that it's just right at, $500. This month I did do quite a bit of sourcing. So I spent $471 in sourcing, so buying new items to resell. And then I also have some subscriptions that I pay for. So my eBay store, I pay for Vendu, I pay for, which is like a cross-listing service. It's also what I use to, like my spreadsheet. It's what I use to organize my stuff. And then I also use Prime Lister, which is a sharing service for Poshmark. Prime Lister? Yeah, I think that is it. I think that is also a cross-listing service, but I didn't like that one. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Like I said, I usually sell clothes. I do have some other random things sometimes thrown in, either things that I like, or like I had a really interesting sourcing opportunity in January where it was a lot of vintage things that I got all for free. So I have sold some things like that, but mostly it's clothes, mostly women's clothes. My top brands in April were Torrid, vintage. So I do find a lot of vintage in my area, and then Chico's. So I think that kind of tells you a little bit about what I sell. I do live in a small-ish town, maybe a small city, a large town. I don't know. Medium, okay. My daughter's is medium. And the biggest, most expensive store we have is a Kohl's. So our thrift stores reflect that. I do try once a month to go to a bigger town, a bigger city, to thrift in maybe higher affluent areas. Sometimes that works in my favor. Most of the time it doesn't, honestly. And yeah, so I listed 152 items this month. That is actually lower than it usually is. At the beginning of the month, I threw out my back. Maybe it was the end of March. Anyway, about a month ago, I threw out my back to where I couldn't stand for like a day and a half, and was pretty unfunctional for about 2 weeks. It was rough, I'll be honest. I'm perfectly fine now. It's like nothing happened at all, and I've definitely healed from that, which I'm very, very grateful for. So taking all of that into consideration, if I take the $2,017, that is my profit, and then I take out what I spent on my, that was really loud. Can we make sure we're being quiet, please? Thank you. Oh, I lost my train of thought. If I take out my $471 that I spent this month on my items that I bought, then that leaves me just over $1,500. If I divide that out by 20 hours per week, I make $19 an hour. For me, that's really worth it. That is, my light fell here. That is something like, I'm not gonna be able to make that with my, I'm not gonna be able to make that somewhere else, doing something else in my area with the background and education that I have. I'm professionally trained as a doula, which is not an hourly thing. That is a chunk of time occasionally. So, you know, when I was working, I was an assistant manager at a coffee shop. I did not make that much as an assistant manager at a coffee shop. Certainly when I was teaching preschool prior to having kids, that was nowhere near what my income would have been. Of course, that was 15 years ago, but I know what preschool teachers make now, and it's sadly not that different. So is selling on eBay worth it? Is it a good enough side hustle, part-time job, small business? I think yes. I think that it works for me. I get to stay home with my kids most of the time. I get to do something that I enjoy and love, and I make some money doing it. So I'll show you the 3 things that I sold. There's definitely a theme here. This is a pair of pants. Yes, honey. Oh, very nice. This is a pair of pants. They're Old Navy. They are linen. They are new without tags, and they are 4X. So what I like to do is share sell-through rate and average sell price, and the average sell price is $12.32, and 34% is the sell-through rate, which I think is pretty good. What I do is I take the number sold and I divide that by the total number of sold and listed items. I do it that way because that's how Terapeak does it, and that's what I use to research for these videos. And so 34% looks like, you know, if there's...
Looks like rain.
It looks like rain. Okay. There might be 34 sold and then 66 listed. That would be a 34% sell-through rate. I think that's pretty good. When I am shopping, I look for 25% or higher. I don't always hit that. The things I sold today are all higher than 25%, which is great. So not a super high like sale price, but when you can find things for really cheap, it's not bad, and they sell fast. So I sold these for $15 on Poshmark. I spent $3.50 on a little like liquidation store, and I bought those there. So my profit is $8.50. I usually aim for $15 in profit, but that doesn't always work out. It just doesn't. These are another pair of linen pants. These are men's linen pants. The brand is In Search. Oh, you know what? I spelled that wrong. In Search. I might need to relook up this brand. Maybe I undersold these. I'm not really sure. Linen, when I looked this up, I didn't find any in this brand when I listed them or when I sold them, like when I was doing the research for today. I did look up just linen pants for men in general, and they have an average sale price of $26.41 and a 49% sell-through rate. That's fantastic. Another YouTuber might say that that's 100% sell-through rate. So the same amount of sold and listed. I don't care how other people say sell-through rate. I just tell you how I do it so that you know. Okay, I looked through the solds because I did notice that there were some that had sold in like the $40s and $50 range. And it was brands like Ralph Lauren, J. Crew, Tommy Bahama linen pants, and then Brooks Brothers. So, you know, In Search, I don't even know what that is, but I sold these for $15 plus shipping on eBay, and I don't know. But if you find something that's a little higher, then, excuse me, I have a call. If you find something that is a higher, more recognized brand, a higher end brand, you might be able to get some more money for that. So I paid a total of $23.45. I paid about $2 for these at the bins, the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound, and my profit is $12.42. And then I have a super cute little t-shirt here. This is a little t-shirt with this fun kind of florally almost, I don't know. It has kind of an asymmetric like handkerchief hem. The brand is Fresh Produce, which I don't know if you're gonna be able to see because it's pink on pink. And it is a plus size, it's a 1X. Fresh Produce t-shirts in plus sizes have an average sale price of $22.51 and a 39% sell-through rate. I will tell you, I 100% undersold this. I should have priced it about $5 higher than I did. I priced it at $19.96, and I have a 15% off coupon on my store. And that's what I didn't take into consideration when I was pricing it. I was like, I'm just gonna price it right at the end so it sells really fast. It did sell really fast, obviously. It sold in 3 days. And I don't think I told you how fast the other two sold. Sorry about that if I didn't. Anyway, they paid a total of $22.87. I paid $3 for these just a few weeks ago. I went to Pigeon Forge, and my husband had a work trip there at a conference, and I went with him, did some thrifting, and found this. I paid $3 for it. It sold, I just listed it 2 days ago. It sold, and my profit is $12.43. Yesterday I had an amazing day. Today it's, you know, I made $33.35. It's ups and downs. There's, you know, some days are really good and some days are not so good. But like I said, I really feel like this is a great side hustle, part-time job, small business, whatever it is that you want to call it. I don't really have a definition for it for myself, but whatever it is for you, or yeah. So if this is something that you're looking to do, let me know. Is this scary? Is it exciting for you to think about a way to, hold on just a second, to make some extra money for your family? If you're already a reseller, do you think it's worth it? Is this something that you enjoy doing? Is it something that makes money for your family? Is it, yeah, I would love to know. Let me know, chat with me in the comments. Hold on, please. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. All right. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for chatting with me, sticking around, letting me ramble. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you soon.